Treasure Hunting 2.0. Let's see if we can use AI, artificial intelligence, robots, to find places to treasure hunt. I bet we can. At least we'll dig up something interesting on it, I'm sure. If you're afraid of AI, just watch for a little bit and I'll show you how useful it can be. I'm gonna provide links in the description below. We're gonna be using Chat GPT. Yes, Chat GPT, you've heard of it. If you haven't heard of it, I don't know where you've been. We're also going to be talking about an app called Onyx, which helps you find property boundaries, and you can cross-reference with that to find new places to ask for permission, or you can find new public grounds. So let's get into this. Using robots to find treasure. Can it be done? I think it can. Let's do it. Okay. In order to follow along with this video today, it might be helpful for you to go to openai.com and go to try Chat GPT. This unlocks the world of AI for you, and if you've never heard of this, then I don't know where you've been, but it's gonna be handy. So you may wanna go do that and sign up. All right, here we go. Pardon the interruption. I just wanted to take this time to ask that you subscribe and like and comment. Also, I have TikTok and Instagram at Kong2Text. On TikTok, I typically live stream metal detecting 3 to 5 times a week, depending on weather and conditions. Also, I have Kong2Text.com, which has gear and accessories and merch. Thank you so much, and now back to the program. Okay, so this is the free version of Chat GPT, and when you get to the page that says, "How can I help you out today?" down here, there's a little message bar. And this is where you can basically just type anything you want. And what we're gonna do first is we're going to pick a spot to research. So I'm gonna pick again, just like in the previous video, how to find places to metal detect. We'll be using some of those tools. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to. It has some helpful tips in it. Okay, so we're gonna have Google Maps. Maybe we'll pull up a historic aerials. Okay, so we're gonna have our Google Maps and our historic aerials, and we have Chat GPT. So first, let's go and pick somewhere. I'm gonna pick somewhere that I know has some decent history. And what I'm gonna do is just a demonstration of using Chat GPT to locate historical areas of interest. So basically this is like Google, but quicker, if that makes sense. We're gonna use what is called an LLM, large language model, to ask questions, and it's gonna give us the answers. And then we're gonna kind of whittle those answers and questions down until we get to where we want. Then we'll research an area. So check this out. Here we go. You know, let's say you live in Tennessee. We know there's some history there. And we're gonna go back to Chat GPT, and in our little message down here, we're gonna type in, are there any treasure legends in Tennessee? I think that's how you spell Tennessee. I might have spelled it wrong because I'm a ding dong. It'll know what you mean. And instantly it's typing out some stuff. So you can see it just popped out some things. The Bell Witch treasure, lost silver mine of the Smokies, pirates and outlaws. Ooh. Confederate gold. Oh, now we're getting somewhere here. That's kind of where I want to go with this. So down here, you can get really creative and say, tell me more about the Confederate gold in Tennessee. And you just got to scroll down. It's going to start typing. And it's just going to spit out a bunch of information again. Now what we're trying to do is condense this down into one area and kind of localize a search area. So this is really interesting up here. It's talking about the legend of the Confederate gold in Tennessee is one of the many tales that emerged in the aftermath of the Civil War. According to various stories, the Confederate government, in an effort to protect its wealth, allegedly transported gold and silver to different locations and hid it from the advancing Union forces. The idea was to prevent the Union Army from seizing these valuable assets. So I'm going to go down here and kind of try to figure out where in Tennessee this gold could be. Where is this gold located? What city? Now, you'll see down here, there's always a note from Chat GPT that my knowledge update in January 2022 means it only has knowledge up to January 2022 in this version. Don't let that bother you. So, we're just trying to whittle this down. What I'm going to do now is switch gears because it's not really giving me what I want. So, let's do this. Where are some Civil War sites in Tennessee? Shiloh National Military Park. Ooh, there's some nice names in there. Fort Pillow. Stones River. Battle of Franklin. So we started out with gold, and now I'm just kind of whittling it down to just, well, let's just forget the treasure legends. Maybe we'll look into just, maybe some areas of interest. So let's check this out. The Carnton Plantation and Carter House are associated with the Battle of Franklin. So let's see where the Carnton Plantation is. Where is the Carnton? And you don't have to really worry too much about punctuation and spelling, guys. Franklin, Tennessee. All right, let's go to Google Maps. Franklin, Tennessee. Once again, I'm just in the default mode here. And we just pulled up the city of Franklin. And again, I'm showing you how I use Google Maps to kind of just get a quick idea of where I would focus. I'm looking for public areas first. Now, there's probably Civil War stuff all over this area. Here's the Carnton House right here. And this looks like a battlefield park, which is typically off limits to metal detecting or any kind of removal of anything. So what we can do is kind of look at these green areas. That looks like a golf course. We're just trying to get kind of close, somewhere just to try. How about this? Winstead Hill Park. Winstead Hill Park. Sounds fancy. Looks like we got a bunch of open area. And what I'll do is just kind of go back and forth between satellite and this. And zoom into where you're kind of covering the whole park so you can kind of keep an idea. And it looks like most of this area. Now, there's a Civil War memorial site here, which is interesting. I don't know if you can metal detect here, so do not go metal detect there unless you have permission, but just in the sake of, or for the sake of showing you how I do this, that doesn't mean you can metal detect here, is what I'm trying to say. That is on you. I don't know the laws here. You may have to have permission. You may not be able to at all, but at least we're narrowing it down to something. Let's go to historic aerials. Franklin, Tennessee. Let's see if we can find that park on historic aerials and close some of these ads, guys, because they will slow everything down. All right, where was that park? Is it this? There it is. Winstead Hill Park. Zoom in a little bit. Oh, look, it's showing us vans. You know what I've been looking at. Let's zoom in. And let's go to aerials like we have. And if you haven't seen my previous video, how to find places to metal detect, I go into greater detail about using historicaerials.com. So it has aerial images back to 1958. Let's do it. It takes it a sec to load up sometimes. All right, so, looks like it's woods back in 1958. There's some structures, there's a pond. Boom. Looks pretty similar. It hasn't changed much. We know that there's Civil War history in the surrounding area. There's probably going to be things like Civil War bullets and buttons and things in here, and probably stuff from other points in time. So looks like an interesting spot. Probably worth checking out or seeing if you can get permission. So right there, Chat GPT kind of helped us narrow it down. Now what sometimes I like to do is, what is the history of Franklin, Tennessee? I'd like to see how old this city or town is. How long has it been there? What are the chances of, some good stuff? So, boom. Ooh, has a rich history. Significant role in the American Civil War. Look at that. Early settlement, late 18th century. So, founded in 1799. So, a lot of good history there. 1799, that's no joke. That's old enough. You got Civil War battle, post-Civil War reconstruction. You can read all this. Then it gets more into economic growth and development, cultural and tourist destinations, yada yada. So, just real quick, we used Chat GPT. We started with gold treasures and we narrowed it down and refined it to one area in Tennessee. And Tennessee's within driving distance of me, so this is something I could really be doing. And I do use this to find places of interest in my local areas. So it's pretty cool, especially when you use Google Maps, Chat GPT, and historic aerials. Now there's one other thing I want to talk about that's really handy, and it's just a way to know exactly where you are and property boundaries in real time, and that is called OnX. So I will put a link to this in there, but what this does is it shows you property boundaries and borders on public areas and or private, and you can use it in real time. So when you're metal detecting, you don't want to cross over into somebody's private property. That's how you get in trouble. You don't want to cross over into a national park, a national battlefield, anything like that. So you can use this in real time to find out exactly where you are. It's also really handy to find who owns properties around an area of interest. So maybe you can't get in that area, but you could get a property that's right near it. You could reach out to that person. And that's all public. So sometimes it's LLCs. That's how I get permissions anyways. I search these and I say, oh, that so-and-so owns this. Let's see if there's any, a public email for them or a phone number in the white pages. And it's super handy. Also, you can track your location and your route, and you can use these waypoints. I do this all the time. I mark old home sites or areas of interest. If I find something cool, I'll put I found some bullets right here. Maybe there was a camp. You can use it offline. I signed up for it. I'm not affiliated with these guys in any way. It's just a really cool product. I signed up for it and I just bought the $100 version because it goes to multiple states, and I metal detect in multiple states, and I used it in Florida recently and it was awesome. But it's a really cool app. I don't know if you can try it for free. Yeah, there's a free trial. So using this, now you can go back to this and use this to say, I wonder who owns, here's a target. If you want to get around this area, if you're not allowed to go in here, there might be, somebody might privately own, ooh, here's a school. See, that might be a spot to go. But somebody may own this piece of land, and it may be a company or just a private, individual, and you might be able to get a hold of them and just explain why you want to go there. But highly recommend having this. It's a really good product, I think it's $30 if you just use it in a single state. But yeah, here it's showing you like these are the borders, and it'll show where you are standing, and it'll move and everything. So super handy. So with the use of AI, Google Maps, historic aerials, and Onyx app, which this is a phone application. Oh, maybe you can use it on the computer too, son of a biscuit. You can really zone in on where you want to go and what you want to focus on and who owns that land. So these are my tips for today. Treasure Hunting 2.0 is the title because these are new and unique ways to use your computer basically while you're at home to really just zone in on places to hunt. It's really handy. These are awesome tools. Highly recommend you get familiar with all of them. Again, I'll put links in the description to all of these, and happy hunting, friends.